Some of the coolest conversations you ever have are with your coworkers. So we made a show about it. Welcome to Breakroom Sessions.
We are here. We're going to jump right into it. The beauty of the Breakroom Sessions is you never know who's going to stop by. And we are blessed and humbled to have this gentleman on our show today. We're going to get to know him in a little bit. Here with Reek.
What up?
Shauna, Country Conjure Boy, Ill Will. As I was saying, the man that is sitting in the chair next to me, to my right. The way you look at the camera, I don't know if it's right or left. It's right.
Somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there.
Right.
He is former military, but now he is the BBCHS choir teacher. And when I tell you this man is committed, his dedication, his enthusiasm that he has with these kids. I don't know him on a personal level, but we're going to get to know him.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Breakroom Sessions, Mr. Darnell Crater.
Hey, all right. Hey, what's up? I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all having me. Yeah, it's cool, man. I like being out here. I'm liking it.
I got one question. How did you go from military to choir teacher?
Exactly.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Yeah, my story is a little different. I'll be 40 in June. So after high school, I was one of the band, choir, theater kids all throughout school. And my plan was to go to New York after I graduated high school and do the whole Broadway thing. Mm-hmm. And my parents said no. They said, you 17, you ain't going nowhere. So I stayed around. I'm from Linwood, Illinois. So I stayed around Linwood for a couple of years. And then when I was 19, I joined the Army as a truck driver. But then a year into the Army, I heard the band going. And like I said, I was one of the all-state kids in choir and band and stuff my whole life. So I talked to my sergeant major, and I was like, hey, how do I do the band? And he was like, oh, that's their job. Like, that's what they get paid to do. And I was like, well, I didn't hear my recruiter tell me. I was in college for music. Mm-hmm. So I moved over to the band, and I was a singer for the Army. And then I also played the trumpet, the tuba, and the euphonium. Mm-hmm. So I did that for about a decade. A couple of tours in Iraq. And then I got out, went to New York finally. Got to do a couple of shows, not Broadway, but I did a couple of off-Broadway shows. And then I have 2 daughters, and I realized that life is unsustainable if you're not getting a steady paycheck. Mm-hmm. So I came back home to the Midwest, excuse me, started working at Olive Garden, like we were just talking about before we started. I was working at Olive Garden as a server, and then quickly they moved me to a manager. So I was managing at Olive Garden and at Grand Lux in Chicago. And then Cracker Barrel came calling, and they came calling with a bigger paycheck. So I jumped ship, all while providing for the kids, and then COVID happened.
Don't y'all be sleeping on the food.
Oh, yeah.
Work now, man.
There's money in that.
Yeah.
There's some early nights. And what they call them clopings. Mm-hmm. When you close, and then you got to open the next morning. Oh, Lord. COVID happened, and then when COVID happened, you know, we all laid up in the house for a little bit, and I was talking to my fiance, now my wife, and she was like, I'll hold it down if you want to go back to school. And she held it down. She held it down for 4 years while I got my education degree. I already had the music and stuff certifications, but I had to get the education part. And so I graduated college last year, last June. In March, I started going to interviews for schools. I did 11 interviews. I got hired at 11 places. I was real blessed. And which the military stuff probably came into it, and they're like, oh, we got to get this guy interviewed.
They go long.
I might have been a DEI hire, but it's all right. I'm here. I'm here now. But yeah, so that's how it went for me. And actually, I was about to sign a contract for another school in the south suburbs. Literally the day before I came to BB for the interview, and then I came to BB. I really liked what they were saying. As soon as I got in the car, they called me and asked me to come back again the next day and actually work with the choir. So I came back the next day, and they offered me the job on the spot. I went out in the hallway, called my wife real quick, and I was like, hey, they offered me this job on the spot. This is the pay scale. This is blah, blah, blah. They said I can do this. They said I can do that. And she was like, you already seem to know what you want to say. And so I said yes. And it was a far thing because I live in Crown Point. I live in Indiana right now.
Okay.
Which we moving out here. So we'll be out here in the summer. But so we making that drive from Crown Point here every day because she work in Riverside.
Wow.
We making that drive every day.
Yeah.
Man.
Ain't no work in Crown Point like
Indiana versus Illinois is totally
different. The pay is totally
Man, it's night and day. Night and day.
How long is that drive from Crown Point?
Well, I'm a Chicago driver, so it's
yeah.
about 48 minutes for me. It should be an hour 10.
Okay.
landing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I got here.
So you take 65 to 41.
I take back roads. So
Oh,
I'm
114 or 10.
So I take 41, and then 41 was it Route 1, Route 2?
Yeah.
Whichever one that takes you to Illinois.
Oh.
And I go all the way down because I come through
Moments.
and then the Moments.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then,
you go down 10. 10 to 114.
Beecher, yep. I go through Beecher.
Oh, he gets
He come out by
Okay.
Piatone.
Yeah.
I come out where ain't nothing but fields.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like it at nighttime.
Right there.
Yeah, I don't look right for me. I duck my head in my car.
I know them,
Nighttime.
them sundown towns back in the day.
Wow.
There we go.
Amazing.
That's
Amazing.
Sundown towns.
Hey,
And how long you say you been at BB?
this year.
Just this year?
August, when we start? August 16th. I got
Okay.
married August 10th. We started school.
Oh, man.
Man. No honeymoon.
Oh, you a newlywed.
Honeymoon over Christmas break.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we went honeymoon over Christmas break.
That's right.
Yep.
Like, yeah, Kendall did say y'all went
Yep.
somewhere.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
We was out there. Cheeks was out.
Man.
Can I say that?
Yeah. That's
We
wrong.
grown.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna come
Yeah,
out
you
of
don't know
here.
what's gonna come out that guy.
So you
I
all
don't really know
together.
what's gonna come
Country
out one
cousins.
So, you say you 40 or you almost 40?
I'll be 40 June 11th.
Okay, so you
Gemini,
almost
baby.
40. What advice can you give to the younger generation that's out there right now, especially the ones that they know what they want to do, but they just not really sure about
I like that.
what steps. You know, they a lot of people ain't got no guidance out there.
Yeah.
You know, yours was brought to you. God brought it to
He
you.
really did.
And just told you, open your ears and listen, and you will find your blessing. And it came to you. But for those that's out there, the younger generation, you know, what advice could you give? Like you want to go to New York? Do you think if your parents would have,
my parents.
no,
had
I'm saying if they would have like been there to just support you and just stand there with you and kind of usher you into that for you to go to New York at 17, do you think you would have gone a different route? I mean, we don't know
Honestly,
what would have happened, but do you think if you'd have actually had that opportunity at 17, because a lot of parents are really standing in that gap now versus back then. Back then, parents, they wanted the for sure thing. They didn't want the
A dream.
exactly. They don't want to. They want to
because they know what they went through.
gonna pay your rent next month because we don't know. So, what advice could you give? For the younger ones that may have a parent that's willing to stand in the gap, or may not have any guidance at all, but they know what they want to do. What could you
asking
give?
the real stuff. That's brilliant. So I was fortunate to grow up in a 2-parent household. My parents still around. My parents are. My dad will be 72. My mom will be 71 this summer. Matter of fact, last week we celebrated their 49th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Amazing.
My parents are doing it. And they're both ministers.
Wow.
So, I grew up with the Jesus. My parents had they had infinite wisdom.
Get some Jodeci up here.
Wait a minute. I do believe you might be about the 3rd or 4th, maybe the 5th PK on the show.
We here. We here.
It's been a
We
lot.
here.
See,
It's
been a lot. It's been a lot of PKs.
And unfortunately, I ain't go as wild as some of the PKs.
Okay.
But I will say that with the New York decision, my parents was using infinite wisdom. They knew because, my parents wasn't always on Jesus' side. So they, they grew up in Argyle Gardens in Chicago. They knew what could be out there. And, the school was in New York, but I was 17 who've never been away from home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had the passion to do the music stuff, but would I be ready for the life?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Girls, drugs,
Right.
like all of that, like
It's a lot.
because it all seems cool, especially when you grew up in a sheltered household, and you know, because even when I joined the Army, that was just 2 years later. I was still 19. I was still a baby.
Yeah.
No rules, you know. So, hey, yeah, you
Yeah,
want to
same
go out drinking
stuff out
tonight?
there, same
Yeah,
stuff
you want
in
to go
the
to the club
Army.
tonight? Well, the club. It's Tuesday. Oh man, we here. And I was like, I guess we're going to the club on Tuesday. 6:30 in the morning. You wake up for PT. You smell like booze. Your sergeant come over. Oh, you want to party on a Tuesday? Go hit that mile. Go hit that mile in 6 minutes.
Smoking
And I was like, oh,
Ooh.
oh Lord.
Mhm.
So the advice I have for young people, and I do tell the students this, college is great. Yeah, it's cool. My daughter is 17. My daughter just technically graduated last month. She go walk the stage in May and June with all her friends. But she wanted to get done early so she can make money before going away if that's what she chooses to do. College is cool, but I think of it as find who you are as a person. I know some people just want to get away. And if you want to get away, at least get some money to get away. Like, get a scholarship, because don't have your parents paying you money when you know you ain't going to be about nothing for real yet. I'm not saying you ain't going to be nothing for real later on, but yet, man, we out here. We got KCC. We got all these schools that's right in the area. Just for me in Linwood, we have South Suburban College right there in South Holland. But did nobody want to go to South Suburban? Did nobody want to go to KCC? I want to go to ISU. I want to go to Northern. I want to go to Southern. All of that is well and good, but if you go there, be about business.
Yeah.
Because people like me, it took me a while. It took me going to the military to kick my butt and kind of put a little direction in me. Like I said, I'll be 40. I'm in my, I guess, third full-time career, and now I'm happy. The second career was the food service, and even though I like people, managing was hell. But even though I like people, I had a family to provide for.
Right.
So that's why I did that. And then the first job, the Army, that was my guidance job. I didn't know what to do. And luckily my parents wasn't parents that said, you either got to go to work or get out the house. I know if I probably would have pushed it another year or two, that might have been the message. But we never even got to that point. So find something you're passionate about. It don't matter if you're not going to some 4-year university to get there. There's different paths in life. I went to college back again at 35. But do something to contribute in some sort of way. If you like music, do music. Make sure you're paying the bills, but when you're not working, be about your music. If you like plumbing, be about your plumbing. Find an apprenticeship. People got it all around town. Whatever you want to do. Entrepreneurs, that's harder. But obviously, the bigger risk, the bigger reward. Because there's some people, we had a girl from my school, I'm going to throw her out there real quick. Shout out to Chef Lovely. She doing her thing in Hollywood. She been on all these cooking shows. This girl been saying she was like 6 years old, she was going to be a chef.
Wow.
I've seen her on TV with Gordon Ramsay and all this other stuff. This is a girl I went to school with.
She spoke
She
it.
manifested that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she went to college. I know she went to one of the cooking schools in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then she made her own name. And this girl, she doing celebrity weddings and all this other stuff. And it's beautiful to see because she's so humble about it. So it don't matter what you want to do. It doesn't matter how you get there, but you got to keep grinding. And I'm not saying grind at the sake of paying bills. Pay your bills. Pay your bills. Do what you got to do to survive. But any free time you get, make sure you grinding to get where you want to go, because ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You know, I'm looking around this room and seeing what we got in here. Everybody look like me. We all know, you know, we know the real world. You know, we all a certain age. We know what the world is. We raise our kids so they have a better life than what we had. My parents raised me to have a better life than what they had. And
just keep it going.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Wow.
I don't know. That was a long-winded answer. Did I get there?
No, you got there. That was pretty good.
No,
You got there.
You spoke.
I got, no matter how long it take, if you have a dream, never let go of your dream.
Right.
But never drop the ball on what's important.
Can't drop the ball on responsibility.
Life right in front of you. You still got to live.
Right.
So
Right.
you can chase that dream, but you just gotta have extra time for the dream.
Because I'm one of those people, like, you know, when you're young, like my dad runs a mentors club for boys in Chicago from 8 to 18.
Mhm.
And, you know, every boy always says, I want to be a professional basketball player. My father was never one to shy them away from that. He always said, that's cool. What's your other plan? And if you are going to be a professional basketball player, how much time you putting in?
Right.
Like, you know, just because you're the best player in your neighborhood.
Right.
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 Because you see the schools out here, even BB. BB was tearing it up this year.
Oh, yeah.
They had that boy 6'10", got the scholarship to ISU.
Yep.
And, you know, in the playoffs, you know, they got taken out, which is, you know, we still had a great season, but they got taken out by a school that most people would say is a no-name, you know.
Right.
Because you never know what people got around the corner, you know. So make sure you can be a basketball player. I'll never tell somebody, like, I got kids in the class telling me they want to be professional singers. Be a professional singer. Make sure you, you know, you got something in the books. I'm not ever saying give up on your dreams.
You gotta take care of that
make sure you
business.
take care.
Right.
Like, I had kids at a young age. My first daughter was born when I was 22. My second daughter was born when I was 24. So luckily I had a full-time job with the military.
Yeah.
But when that military job, when I got out the military.
Got real.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because you had that military background, you possibly could have even went to the post office and applied.
Which my uncle tried to get me to do. My uncle, he a Vietnam vet, and that's what he did. He just retired. My uncle and my dad, the one who's 49 years in marriage, my uncle and my dad are twins, so they both be 72 in July. So he retired now, but he went straight from Vietnam, works a job for a couple years, post office for like almost 40 years.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Woo.
Yeah,
Did he like it though?
Huh?
Did he like working for the
Man,
post
my
office?
uncle
He
crazy.
loved it. He loved it. He
Uncle
loved it.
David, you see this? You crazy. You know you crazy.
Because my brother worked for the post office. He don't care for it.
Yeah, my
Did he
brother
go
worked-
postal?
My brother. My brother worked for the post office too.
And he came straight out of the military.
Oh,
My
yeah.
brother was
Yeah,
in the
because those
Army.
government jobs, I mean, because I think when you get out, and this is, I don't know, so don't quote me on this, but I think if you go from a government job to a government job, your benefits keep going. So if you did 10 years in the military and then did 10 years in the post office,
That's
I
like
believe that's 20 years of
20
federal
years
service
served.
right there.
Wow.
I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Dang,
They
mama,
be taking
should've
care
went
of
to
them.
the post office. Mama went there to do them 24 years.
They be taking care of their people.
Yeah.
So, what? Obviously, you love music, but
Man, love it.
One genre,
Motown.
Motown.
60s Motown.
David Ruffin.
David. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Wish you could work the way I do, but you can't.
Y'all can't find me. Y'all need me.
You ungrateful son of a...
David Ruffin and the Temptations.
I ain't gonna lie. I still like the 5 Heartbeats.
Oh, no.
Over the Temptations.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
that movie,
Okay,
Robert
no,
Townsend.
you know what? He was
They
good.
cut up.
The 5 Heartbeats, and the reason why
I gotta
that
say
could go
that.
over the
I gotta say
Temptations.
that.
No, but the reason why, because the 5 Heartbeats is the story of the Temptations, the Four Tops, the
OJs?
Dales, and the OJs
Right.
all put together. Just like Dreamgirls is not just the Supremes, it's the Supremes, it's Martha and the Vandellas,
Okay.
and
Okay.
another one of them girl groups all put
The
together.
one is the girl group that Randolph, dang, what that lady name? I can't remember her mama name. She an actor.
Maya Randolph.
Her mama Ripperton.
Oh, Minnie Riperton, Maya Rudolph.
The group her mama was in too. It was about them too.
Yeah.
She was in a group. I thought she was by herself.
I think she started in a
Yeah,
group.
she started
and
in
then,
a group,
yeah.
Huh.
And then she branched off and then got.
But
But yeah, so what was the story of the 5 Heartbeats about then?
So, no, the 5 Heartbeats was
Was a collab of all
It was a
of them?
collab, just like
Okay.
Dreamgirls. So
Oh,
obviously,
wow. I didn't
the
know
lead
that.
singer.
Nah, I didn't.
I thought that was
being
a
on
real
drugs
group
and
at
shit,
first.
That was Temptation stuff.
Yeah.
Especially being replaced by Flash. That was David Ruffin being replaced by Dennis Edwards.
Then the Preacher
Oh.
Man.
Oh, that makes
Preacher
sense
was
now.
The,
Yeah,
the
it
one
does.
in the Temptations that ended up going.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Big Red
Rooftop.
Yeah, Big Red on the Rooftop.
that
with
was-
him.
That was Suge, Night Before Suge.
Right? I was like, because it wasn't Berry Gordy, but it was one of them other record moguls.
I really thought that was a real group at first when I first seen
the
it.
people who sang for him was the Dales.
Yeah.
Chicago group. The Dales was the ones who sang the "Ain't Got No Money."
Yeah.
They sang that in the background.
Oh, really?
Ashtray for Eddie Kane Jr.
Eddie Kane Jr.
But I like the Temptations movie a little bit better.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's hard, man. Robert
It was
Townsend.
It was
I know.
too sad, man. It had too many
Leon was
real
in both
sad
of them.
parts,
Yeah,
man.
he's in every song.
You can't say
movie.
Leon, like Leon in both of them, but Robert.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
Robert Townsend. Yeah,
Robert.
man,
That's
hey,
Chicago right there. Robert
That man is
Townsend.
talented.
They did just a documentary on 5 Heartbeats last year. You know, Keenan Ivory Wayans was one of the writers with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no
I didn't know
idea.
that.
It was him and Robert Townsend who wrote it together, but he had to step away so he can do A Living Color. Because In Living Color finally got picked. They was trying to get A Living Color picked up for years, and during the production of 5 Heartbeats is finally when it got picked up. So he looked at Robert Townsend and he's like, I got to. And Robert was like, yeah, you got to. He was like, absolutely, you got. This is your chance.
Robert Townsend helped out in a plethora
Everybody.
of writers, producers, actors that were black coming up back in the 80s.
Shout out to Robert Townsend.
His daughter, what is his daughter in? I just was watching something she playing, and she is a very good actor. Because I was watching something, it's not a comedy, but it was so good, and she was in it, and she played such a great role. It'll come to me in a minute. I can't think of what it is.
Well,
No, we're doing on time.
no, we good. We got about 10 minutes.
Heartbeats and 5 Temptations.
Temptations.
Boy, that's a
that's
See, I'm biased.
that's a
tough one.
podcast right there.
David Ruffalo, my God.
I'm biased because I never watched the 5 Heartbeats.
Get out of here!
What?
Yeah, get out.
You just, the whole room just got silent.
Yeah.
We
Look,
pulling your
that's a
card.
requirement.
We pulling your card,
I met the
Shauna.
14 to 18-year-olds in the school. I made them watch Sister Act clips.
Really?
Now I feel like I need to make them watch some 5 Heartbeat Temptation clips.
Yeah, that's a
I made
requirement.
them watch Sister Act clips.
Nah, I
before
love
Christmas.
Sister Act,
They
too.
was like, Mr. Crater, why you always singing? It's like, y'all know about Sister? Oh, yeah, y'all 14 to 18.
They don't know.
No, they don't know about
Y'all
that.
don't know
They
about
don't know.
David Ruff. Y'all don't know.
They don't need that because Sister Act 2
Oh, I love that
had
one.
Lauryn Hill.
They don't know who Lauryn Hill is.
Had the
Yeah, they need to learn that
the
quick.
boy from City High when he was young.
Yeah.
And that they can blow still.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah,
They
she
might know
was
her
in
from
there.
her TV shows. And here go the real one. The girl who's Maria, the one who was like, the Love Boat. See, that's the girl from Ted. The one who plays the mother in Ted.
Yeah.
That's her.
Dang.
Yeah, she was.
Jason Weaver and
No.
No, not Jason Weaver. It was
he
another-
should have been. He was around
another
that
boy,
time.
the boy from City High.
Yeah.
He was the slimmer one.
I haven't seen that movie in years.
Okay.
The slim one, because at
That's
first,
when Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hit those notes. I seen that.
Now I gotta go back and see that movie again.
Just act
Yeah, I mean I seen it. Of course I seen
But
it.
y'all remember them?
No, I'm
Shirley
just saying.
Ralph was the mama.
Yeah, it's been years since I seen that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
So-
in elementary. She was an angry mama.
They had like a reunion on The View, I think last year.
That's his dad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
The reunion.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, Whoopi.
Look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh my! Oh, I'm gonna watch that.
It was, yes.
I'm
It was really good.
Yeah.
They
I'm
came
gonna
out and
cry.
performed. Whoopi cried
right
because they
speed.
were honoring, her.
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
Oh, it was good.
That's what's up.
You-
And who's the other girl? Like, I don't know if she's so Monica Calhoun from all the black movies in the 90s.
Oh yeah, she was in that too.
She was one of the girls. Come
Oh.
on, John the Corey.
Yes.
Who was the girl that sang with Lauryn Hill when they did the When Jesus? Because she's
She's
R&B
on that
singer,
reunion.
ain't she?
Yeah, I don't know if but she was on there.
She
was-
got to be somebody
she
because
can
that girl
blow.
can blow.
Yes.
Was.
I don't remember her name.
Since I seen
Yeah, it's been years since I seen that
Y'all
movie.
see, y'all can go
Now
home.
you gotta make. We gotta watch it now.
So
went to
how
the
many
church. I've been
times
to the
have you
church.
seen Dreamgirls then?
The original or the
The
Eddie
remake
Murphy.
With Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
Maybe once a time.
maybe
and,
I think
like
Jamie Foxx on there. I've seen it maybe twice.
Oh man,
I
Eddie
seen
Murphy
it.
deserves
I
an
seen
Oscar
it
for that.
once.
Eddie Murphy
Don't
deserves
say
an
it
Oscar.
Yeah,
for
they-
that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all knew
Jimmy-
Eddie Murphy.
what was his name?
could sing, but
Jimmy
he
Earl?
sang.
His name was Jimmy Earl.
Jimmy Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, here go a little shout out, a little thing in there. Y'all know Jaleesa from A Different World was in Dreamgirls. She was the one who played Eddie Murphy's wife. She only had like a little. She only had a little
real short role.
That was Jaleesa from
A
Different World.
Like her role was so short. It was like towards the end when they was older almost.
Oh, wow.
And the girl that he was
did.
messing with, she was getting tired of Eddie playing with her. It
That's
was like,
right.
look, you need to pick because I'm tired of your. And
Yeah.
Jaleesa. Boy, see that. Like I said, I'm 40, but I know all the shows from before. Like, I mean, that was kind of my time, but Different World was technically a couple years. My brother's 6 years older, so Different World was more his time.
Nah, I was.
But I watched every episode.
We supposed to be doing a show on the 80s. 80s sitcoms.
Yeah, sitcoms. Yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I gotta be tuned in. Well, I be tuned in. Well, once Will's daughter, that's how I met y'all. You know, Will's daughter is one of my students, and she's wonderful.
Thank you, young lady.
And she told me, she was like, she's like, you should listen to my dad's podcast. So I started checking y'all out on I don't want to say which platform. I don't know where y'all sponsored at, but on one of the popular platforms.
We on all.
Oh, okay. All right. It was on Apple. I checked y'all out on Apple. And I subscribed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And you enjoyed it.
Oh, man, it was cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who was who until I became friends with Will on social media. So I started seeing faces, and I was like, okay, so this is who Will is.
Right.
And so it's cool. It's
Co-workers got together.
So who would you say is the musician that most influenced you?
You know what's funny? So I went to
That's a good question.
a quote unquote mega church in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So we had some singers, some church singers, that I think would rival any popular R&B singers. So I had church singers that I really listened to growing up. Obviously now she's famous, but Tamala Mann, when she was with Kirk Franklin and the Family, and it's someone else question. And even David Mann.
David got a voice,
I don't need no material things. That's David Mann singing. So we used to listen, I grew up in a family that only listened to gospel music.
Okay.
So that's what I knew. Me listening to, I was a huge Michael Jackson fan, and for some reason my mama let me listen to him, but how I would listen to it is I would watch those Time Life things at nighttime, those infomercials, and I would watch the old Motown ones. And then when I was probably like 8th grade, CD Now was a thing, and you could listen to like 2 minutes of a song. So I would listen to like 2 minutes of every Jackson 5 song, every Michael Jackson song, and I became obsessed. And I learned every Jackson move, every Jackson song. I was already at the point where my voice already changed and I couldn't hit the Michael Jackson notes. So I would transpose it down and I'd still be doing Michael Jackson stuff. So Michael is my favorite singer, probably my favorite performer also.
Wow. Yes.
But I'd probably say anybody in the 80s and 90s gospel can probably rival almost any singers. Even because all those Motown singers, they all were church singers. Yeah. You know, Marvin Gaye, David Ruffin, all of them started off as church singers.
I mean, even Jodeci started off in
Jodeci.
Right,
every freaking night.
Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson definitely started, You can tell how she sings.
Whitney Houston.
The greatest,
Luther Vandross.
Big Luther and Little Luther.
Aretha. I mean, all of them.
Now, we was just mentioning like movies and stuff. What would be your favorite musical movie, like far as Sixth Act or Five Heartbeats or?
Well, it's gonna be Five Heartbeats of the Temptations, and then if I had to jump into like something like more Broadway musical,
The Wiz.
You know what, The Wiz I like, but it wouldn't be my favorite because Diana Ross was 90 years old playing Dorothy.
I didn't like The Wiz.
Diana Ross, she was damn near 40, but she still did her thing.
The original one.
Yeah, in the original one, Diana Ross was grown.
Yeah. She was. She wasn't
Tracy Ellis Ross was probably in high school when that thing came.
Diana probably was in her 30s, maybe.
Because Michael was like 22.
Yeah.
But I would probably say Hairspray. Not the Ricky Lake one that came out in the 80s, but the one that came out as a full musical. Elijah Kelly. Y'all know him. He was in Red Tails and Red Tails. He did all the black movies in like the 2000s. That boy was singing. He was out there singing. Queen Latifah was singing. Yeah, it's a good one. Hairspray, man. But
never watched
it. Ain't nowhere near Five Heartbeats of the Temptations. Five Heartbeats of the Temptations. That's Mount Rushmore of musical movies.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say.
I like the Jackson American Dream though.
Every holiday.
I know.
Every single holiday.
Every holiday.
I never saw that either.
Whoa. Marlon, Michael, who put the towel in the pool?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
You ain't never seen.
You have got to be kidding me.
Little snotty
Now that's Jason Weaver. Jason Weaver.
Right.
Jason
Okay. I knew
playing with
Jason
that
Weaver
little
was
mouse.
in
What the
something.
little mouse name was?
Ben, or no, he called him Mr. Rat.
Mr. Rat.
But Michael Jackson had a real song about it. Ben, the little rat.
Yeah.
In the two of us. Well, what?
Yeah.
Angela Bassett played Katherine Jackson.
Yes.
And that's how Keke Palmer always do. I don't love you. I don't want you anymore. I don't want you.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett.
Look, Keke do kind of face. She could replay all of
Keke
Angela
Palmer is
Bassett.
Angela Bassett's daughter. There's no way that they are not biologically
I'm
related.
just not seeing it.
Yeah, now that you say it.
Keke
Yeah, I
Palmer
can
is
see it
young
now.
Angela Bassett.
Find out.
Dang,
man.
now you say musical movies, and I say Angela Bassett, so now I'm thinking Courtney B. Vance, and now I'm thinking Preacher's Wife.
I'm thinking
Preacher's wife.
That's how my brain goes.
I'm thinking what's love
Yep.
got to do with it.
Yep, Angela Bassett.
Lawrence
Angela Bassett.
and Angela did something.
I thought about her
made
husband, and I was like, her
Keke.
husband is Courtney B. Vance. He was the husband of Preacher's
That
Wife.
boy, and I love that
I mean-
boy is cold. Courtney is a cold.
I think
man.
Jamie Foxx did Ray. That movie was good too.
Oh man,
Wow.
Ray
Ray,
was.
Lorenz Tate was in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lorenz Tate, the one who played
What-
Quincy Jones.
What else? What movie
That's
else he
one of
played in
Fred
that?
Sanford's
Lorenz
kids.
Inkwell.
No, I know that,
Love,
but
right.
Loved, when he was Frankie Lyman.
Frank Lyman.
Yes.
Frank Lyman.
Yes.
Frankie
I
Beverly.
forget what it's called.
Why
With Halle Berry,
Why
the Fools
Fall in Love.
Why the Fools Fall in Love, and
Yeah.
Lila Rashawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, them girls was going at it, boy.
All for broke old Frankie Lyman.
He ain't leave him nothing but some Frankie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic episode.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you for
Tune
coming.
in.
Yes.
We were here with Reek, Shauna Country Cuz, your boy Ill Will, Darnell Crater.
Hey.
We appreciate you. Thank you for your service.
Oh, man.
If I didn't mention that off the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good
And
story.
yeah, peace.
Peace.
Out.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Breakroom Sessions. Share this podcast with a coworker and be sure to follow and subscribe for future episodes.